If your insurance company tells you, sorry, you're not covered, don't believe them, because they might owe you tens of thousands of dollars of state minimum coverages to protect you if you've been in a car wreck. Thousands of people every year are losing money on claims because they're not aware of their rights and what coverages their insurance should provide for them. Today, I'm going to walk you through the strategies that I use as an attorney to get coverage for my clients. All over the state of Texas, people are being hit by people who have no auto insurance, even though the state requires you to carry liability insurance in case you hit somebody. Lots of people have canceled their policies, allowed them to lapse, or don't carry enough coverage depending on the type of accident that happens. So in this type of case, when you don't have enough insurance or any insurance, like a hit and run, even if you get the police to come out, even if the other person's at fault, if they don't have insurance, it's very difficult to get any money to pay for your medical bills or car repairs. However, insurance companies won't tell you this. In Texas, under the law, they are required to provide uninsured coverage for both your injuries and property damage, as well as personal injury protection. The exception is if you've rejected these policies in writing. If you do not have these coverages and you haven't been paying premiums for them, your insurance company is going to tell you you're out of luck, but that might not be the case. They might have to provide you these coverages because if you did not reject these policies in writing, then they have to provide those coverages to you by law. So how do you get the insurance company to provide you this coverage? How do you force them once you have your own auto policy? First, you have to have an auto policy to begin with. With your own auto insurance policy, if you've been in a car wreck and you want to investigate if you have these coverages, you have to call and set up a claim with your own adjuster and have an adjuster assigned to your file. Once an adjuster is assigned, you call in, give them their policy number, explain what happened. They're going to assign someone to talk to you about the case. When that adjuster is assigned, you tell them, I want to get coverage for my uninsured bodily injury, property damage, and personal injury protection coverage. That adjuster is supposed to provide proof that you rejected these coverages in writing. If they don't provide the written proof that you rejected, then you have to tell them, listen, if you don't have these rejected in writing, you have to provide me this coverage. I'm asking for you to provide me coverage now. At that point, they should provide you those minimum state limits. Those amounts are going to be $30,000 individual bodily injury uninsured motorist coverage, $60,000 per occurrence bodily injury coverage, and $25,000 uninsured property damage coverage, 30, 60, 25. In addition to that, you can get another $2,500 for personal injury protection, which is the state minimum required. So these are tens of thousands of dollars that insurance companies leave their own insureds hanging and never have to pay out on, even though they're supposed to, because there is no written rejection in the file for that policy. Third point, you've already set up the claim. You've asked for written rejections because you weren't paying premiums for those particular policies, and your insurance company is refusing to provide coverage. It just happened to me the other day. I had a client where I took over the case, and for the last 4 months, we've been trying to get a coverage decision on their own auto policy to see if there was uninsured coverage. And the adjuster over 4 months kept telling us they were going to look into it and weren't aware, but they were going to find out. So when an adjuster's delaying or stalling, there's a couple things you can do. One, you can escalate that to a supervisor, see if you can get them to assist you. If that doesn't work, then you can do what I did, which is I just filed a complaint with the Texas Department of Insurance. So a lot of people don't know this, but you can file a complaint with the Texas Department of Insurance through their online complaint portal. What I did is I filled out the adjuster's name, their supervisor's name. I looked up their licenses under the state of Texas because the state of Texas does regulate each adjuster. I reported them to the Texas Department of Insurance on a Friday. Monday, I had the adjuster calling me confirming they found and could confirm $350,000 of uninsured motorist coverage for my client's claim. Now, if we had just continued not finding out what that coverage is, my client maybe wasn't going to be able to get all the care they need. And so ultimately, if you're getting stuck with an adjuster, if the insurance company's playing games, you can escalate it to a supervisor or file a complaint with the Texas Department of Insurance, and they can step in. Now, your results are going to vary depending on what the issues are. In my situation, I cited Texas Insurance Code Chapter 542, which explains that insurance companies are prohibited from unfair settlement claims practices. This is a duty of good faith and fair dealing that they have to their insureds to make sure that they're evaluating claims promptly and reasonably and not creating delays unnecessarily. Now, let's suppose you try all this and you're still getting the runaround from the insurance company. They're still playing games. They're still ignoring you. At that point, you probably need to call an attorney and get legal help. There's really no reason that An insurance company should not cooperate with you, but if they're giving you a hard time, get a lawyer. The lawyer's going to step in and make sure that they're accountable to you as the policyholder who's waiting for an answer or for coverage that they're supposed to get. So those are my main points. First, get your policy set up with a claim, get an adjuster assigned, review your declaration page on your own auto policy. It should tell you if you have these coverages. If you have a dollar amount next to the coverage, that means you're paying for it. If you don't, or it's blank, or it says it's not included on your declaration page, then that means you don't have the coverage. Ask for the written rejections from your adjuster after you've set up the claim. If they're not cooperating, you can file a complaint. If that doesn't work, you need to hire a lawyer to investigate the matter further. I've had many cases where the client thought there was no chance they could get their medical bills paid for, their car has been damaged and it can't get fixed. And we found these coverages by forcing the insurance company to provide it because they couldn't produce written rejections, and it saved the case for our client. Tens of thousands of dollars in bills or damaged cars, all that debt that my clients had over them, we saved them from that situation, and you should save yourself as well. Bonus tip, if you have collision coverage, it does also stack with your uninsured motorist property damage coverage of $25,000. You can elect which coverage to make primary. So if you have a lot of repairs or a significant total loss, you can combine these coverages and maybe get a better offer from your own auto insurance carrier. Now, we covered everything today. So if this was helpful to you, I have more information and tips I'm going to give out all year about how I handle these types of situations. The more you educate yourself, the more you're going to be prepared. Every single person at some point in their life is probably going to deal with an insurance claim. Download my free car wreck accident guide and car wreck checklist. Basically, just download this kit to your phone. If you're ever in a car wreck, you can make sure to have a copy of it on your phone. And I give out step-by-step what you need to do right after a car wreck to make sure you maximize your chances to protect yourself and make sure you don't get taken advantage of by the person who hit you, their insurance company, or your own. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.